Okay, welcome everybody to this Helpful Village Q&A webinar of May 27th, 2026. Um, the way this webinar works is that basically customers send questions during the month. They send their questions to this email address, hvusers@helpfulvillage.com or Anastasia. And then basically what happens is that Anastasia puts them in this Google Doc actually, so where basically we put questions and that we're gonna try answer or respond to in order. So this is basically the agenda for the meeting. At the same time, Anastasia is gonna share this link in the chat, so you can look at this document to see if your question is in there, and then when it's coming in the agenda. If there are any other questions, so we take these questions in order. So it's better to send your emails. But it is an interactive session when we're treating one of the questions. If something's not clear to you or you have a related question in that topic, you're free to unmute and ask it. If something's not clear, please let us know too. But then basically this is kind of the agenda. I think we can get started. Maybe one thing that we're gonna say is that we have done a few webinars recently. We did two webinars with the changes that are coming to Helpful Village, with this Helpful Village version 2. And then we did one webinar last week with our customers more operational about the phasing and the schedule. If you have any questions about those, we can send you the recording of those webinars because we do different dates and times, etc. Actually, today we are going to try answering those questions with the version 2 software. So we're going to do a demo at the same time that we try to answer your questions. So it's going to be fun. Okay, let's get started right away. So we have first question is Corey from Missoula. Something that we usually do. Actually, before I get started, I should say that some participants in this meeting are well known because we know them and they have come to a lot of meetings. But if there is somebody in this meeting that we have not met before, if this is the first time you interact with us in a webinar, this is a good time to basically introduce yourself. You can unmute and let us know about your name, your village, etc. That helps us answer your questions during the webinar. If there is anybody in the audience that wants to do it, this is a good time to do it. And if not, we're going to take questions one by one. The other thing that we do is that if the person that asked the question is in the audience, it is better if they can unmute and ask the question themselves. That makes the webinar more interactive rather than me reading the question and answering. That sounds more like a monologue. So if Corey is in the call, please please unmute. And if she's not on the call, I can still read the question for everybody.
I'll, I'll introduce myself since
Oh, perfect.
I was a little slow to take up your offer there.
It's good.
My name is Tony Price, and I'm with the University Park Village in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're a new village that's just getting started, so we're kind of taking baby steps. There's a core that has done a lot of organization, and I'm a little later to the party, but I'm working with volunteer services, and
Mhm.
so I'm eager to be at the webinar and pick up some helpful advice on how to get our volunteer services rolling.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that introduction. I see that Eric and Anatol are also on the call from the same village, right? So we have a little group from North Carolina. That is great. And I really appreciate that sometimes it takes some, discomfort to get in front of everybody, introduce yourself. I really appreciate it. So thank you for doing that. It makes the call a lot friendlier to me rather than, everyone listening and then I speak all the time. It's a lot more stressful. So thank you. And then if there is,
So the
yes.
next in line then from Raleigh, Eric
Uh-huh.
Goldberg here. I've participated in a few of the recent meetings, but this
Uh-huh.
is the first Q&A. We are looking for any kind of help. Also, I've got one quick question that I'll just throw out here for everyone is that one of the issues that we're trying to address right now is directors and officers insurance,
Mhm.
and wanted to hear if anybody had any of the other village participants had any input, thoughts, or advice regarding D&O insurance,
Mhm.
because we feel fairly confident that that's something we do need to have on. And uh, we're happy to get started with V2, and Anatol is here. He's among the three of us. He's the most technical person, and I'll let him introduce himself. And thank you for running this regular meeting, Manuel.
Nice. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, Anatol Blast here. And yeah, a background in technology and software development. So actually been poked and prodded the platform a lot in our familiarization phase, and really like how it supports productive communities. And then the other part of supporting productive communities is getting people together to communicate and learn. Would love to hear from this group, people who have deployed your software and deployed these solutions. What did they wish they knew when they were starting out?
Yeah.
And that's a key thing, is I love learning from people who are using stuff.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Anatol. And then I know we have a question from your group that is here. Actually, Tony sent it. So that same question with a kind of suggestions, a more open-ended question is in the agenda. So we will get to it a little later today. Is there anybody else that wants to introduce himself, herself to the audience? Some people, some names I don't know, but that's fine. Some people are shy, don't want to take the mic. That's fine too. Okay, other than that, if there is no other introductions, then let's go to questions. First question, Missoula, Montana. Corey, and I don't think she's in the
Manuel,
audience. Oh, yes.
sorry for interrupting. Could you
Yes.
please zoom in a little bit the questions?
Yes. Good. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, we can see it better. Thank you.
Good point. Okay, not going out to members and they are not getting notified. So we need to go over a few places with this. So first thing I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna go to Missoula, and I don't know if I know where to find their newsletters actually in the menu, because these customized menu where they can put it somewhere, and but actually I don't know in the menu, but they're here. So, they have not created a newsletter. Well, that's funny. Anyways, let me do it in demo. So now this is, I was trying to find it on their website, but I couldn't. So I'm gonna do it on Helpful Village, on the demo site. So basically, if you come here, and I'm logged in right now, and then if you go to the newsletters page, there is this functionality here that allows you to, upload a newsletter. And this is typically, initially, it was a PDF document, right? And then they're added here by years, 2020 newsletters, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And then you can navigate the years here, and then the different newsletters that have been uploaded. And then you have an image, and then if you click on it, you can do two things. If you have a PDF that you have uploaded, it's going to download the PDF that you can read, anyone that goes to the website. And then if you can also edit this newsletter, you can see here that you can add a PDF document and picture that is going to be displayed in the list of newsletters. Or if you don't want to have a PDF document, you can also just type the content of a newsletter that will be a newsletter in its content, but it will just be a regular website that is attached to this newsletter area. Okay, so that's the specific newsletter element. So there is a newsletters area, and you can create a new newsletter. So this is what we call the object newsletter, which is, as I said, initially a PDF document or just some content. But this is Helpful Village was not sending this newsletter out to anybody. It's just they're present in your document. They're saying, so she was asking that they were not being received. They're not being received because they're not being sent. But now there is another element that I want to mention here, and it is here. So if you go to events list, and then you go to the admin features, and then in admin features, here you find this edit intro text for weekly email. So you can activate a weekly email that goes out typically on Sundays to your mailing list, and then it is very kind of close to the concept of a newsletter, because basically it's a weekly email that goes out on Sunday. It includes some intro text that you can customize every week and put some information like newsletter type of information in there. And it is connected to events because we automatically put 2 weeks of events in there. So actually, I better if I show you an example. So this is one of our customers that is using this feature. And then and it's a newsletter, so it's a public information, so I can show it to you. So let's do the same. So this is version 1 now. Let's do it from version 2 in demo, and this is version 1. So basically they have this list of events, and then if you go to the features, the same thing, you have the edit intro text for the weekly email. So they come here every week, and then this is what they write. They prepare this document here with some information, basically the information of the week. And I guess we can call this a newsletter too, because it's just a weekly, message that is sent out to the audience. So all of this is, they compose a regular message with text, pictures, titles, links, and all the information that they want to put in there. So all of that, they build it during the week. And then that's it. And then they save it, and then they get it ready. And then basically the server wakes up on Sundays automatically, and they go here into admin, email messenger, and the server wakes up automatically, and it sends this email out. And this email out contains the same intro text that they define here. And at the bottom, the software is going to automatically put the upcoming 2 weeks of events at the bottom here. See, this week, from this date to that date, well, there's this event, this a golf tournament, there's chair yoga, all of that. So basically, it plays the role of a newsletter. I don't know. So basically, we have two objects in Helpful Village. Newsletter is a PDF version that is not being sent. And these other weekly emails from events that is sent automatically. You can edit, and in this case, people are sending it. So I guess you can do both, right? You could prepare here your weekly email and then send it regularly to all your people, and then go to the newsletter section. And in the newsletter section, basically either copy paste or upload a PDF that does it. So, but basically, these two objects behave a little differently. So I believe Corey in Missoula, what she was doing is that she was uploading a newsletter message and it was not going anywhere. The other thing you can do is that you can create a newsletter message and then go to the email messenger and send it out to people. But the newsletter object by itself is not sent out. I see there is a raised hand, so I'm going to take that question. Yes.
Before we switch to the different question, there is a question from Carol. Carol, would you like to ask it yourself?
Yeah.
Or I can read it.
Sure. Sorry, it's Robin. I couldn't figure out
Okay.
change the name. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to change the picture because Carol uses it. I was just, we're currently having an issue with some counts in MailChimp. And so I'm trying to dig into that. And so is there, MailChimp can send out a newsletter as well, correct? Could you just talk about that process if it's correct?
Yes. So the thing is, even here in this case, so MailChimp is a third-party service, right? That is specialized in sending emails out. But you can actually connect Helpful Village to MailChimp, to your MailChimp account. Actually, this weekly email that is sent out, right, is actually, you prepare it, you save it, and when the server wakes up, it's going to send it out to the mailing list using MailChimp in this particular case. So let me show you one or two more things. Actually, let me go back to demo. So if you go here to admin, and you go to people management, and then you go to groups, then you have different mailing lists. You have an active members mailing list, active volunteers mailing list, and actually the weekly intro email, the weekly events email is going to be sent to this events mailing list. So basically, this is a group of people, and then here you can add or remove people to this mailing list. Right? I can add a new person, etc., add or remove, and then basically this is a group of people, and then at the bottom of this group, you will have a button that says synchronize with MailChimp. It's going to synchronize the list of contacts with MailChimp. So the most important thing between MailChimp and Helpful Village is to be able to synchronize the contact list so that you don't want to be, if you receive a new member and you add it to Helpful Village, it will be and they want to be subscribed to the mailing list, they will be automatically be added to MailChimp. You don't need to go to MailChimp and then copy their email address. All of that is taken care of automatically. So the one process is synchronizing the mailing list, kind of the addresses of people with MailChimp, and that is done here. And the second thing is sending a message. So in order to send the message, you can send it with a weekly email that I sent you, right? And that is just the server wakes up, it's going to take that particular intro page here that I showed you. here, this one, right? It is located here. So whatever you write here and you activate the weekly email, it's going to pick up anything that there is here. It's going to put 2 weeks of events, and it's going to send it out to the MailChimp mailing list. So it goes out through MailChimp. And it is sent from Helpful Village. Now, you can do other things too. You can do, for example, if you don't want to use that automatic feature that sends a message on Sunday, then basically what you do is that you deactivate it. If you want to deactivate it, you can activate it or deactivate it. So I'm going to show that. I don't know if it's in events. Actually, not in events, it's in email here. So you go to the email tab. It's both the same thing in V1 and V2, but I'm showing around V2 at the same time so that you start getting familiarized with it. In the email tab.
I don't know if it's just me, but your screen isn't refreshing, I don't think.
Oh, well, I don't know if anyone else can tell me if they have the same problem.
You're not
Correct.
on the
Same here.
Is my screen having problems?
We're stuck on the edit email screen is all we're seeing.
Oh, wait, because let me see. You know what I did? No, it's not my computer. It's me. I was doing something stupid. I moved on to a different browser window and I was clicking around. So I apologize for that. And now that I'm back on the right browser, it's going to move. Okay, so here, right? So this is version 2. And then I was saying, if you can come here to the edit intro message, whatever message that you put in here is going to be sent on Sunday to the mailing list. The other thing that I was showing is that you can come here to admin, settings, and then if you go to the email tab, that email tab, you come down here to the bottom, and here you can activate or deactivate the weekly email with upcoming events. So if you activate this feature, it's going to take the content into this intro week email that we saw just before. It's going to take 2 weeks of events and it's going to send it out through the email message automatically. You don't need to do anything, right? So that is one way you can send this newsletter or weekly events email out. Sometimes if you don't want to send it out automatically, well, then you uncheck this box, right? You save. And then you can come here. You can say email messenger. You can go new email messenger, then you choose who you send it to, right? And one of the ways to do it is you want to send to everyone in your mailing list. You come here and say, oh, well, I want to send to everyone that is tagged in MailChimp for all villages. And I compose my message and I call this newsletter May 2026. And then I compose the message here and I write everything by hand. You can also do that. This is kind of the manual way of doing that. And then at the bottom, you come here and just send it. Well, that's a regular, group email that goes out to MailChimp. And then if you don't want to compose the message here, because MailChimp has its own editing capabilities and, to build your content on MailChimp, you can also log into MailChimp. You can synchronize your group from here. So basically, we always recommend synchronizing your list of contacts from here. So you come here, you can come to MailChimp, and I want to synchronize this group with MailChimp. I'll hit this button, and this is so basically there's 2 different processes. One is synchronizing the mailing list, and this we recommend always doing it from Helpful Village because otherwise you don't know who's in or who's out. And then the second thing is sending it, and you can send it with the automatic email. You can send it with the email messenger, or I can log into MailChimp, my MailChimp account, and then compose the message in MailChimp and send it out. And now I'm going to do another thing. Is actually maybe it was better if Anastasia did this because I don't know if I can find it easily, but we have a training document specifically about this. It's a Helpful Village. Well, I'm not going to find it right now. Maybe, there you go. No, wait, this is a different one. Oh, this is it. Newsletter training. Wow, I'm so lucky I found it right away. So all the information that I said and also how to compose those messages is also in this a 1-hour training specifically on newsletters. So I pasted the video training on the chat. You can take it from there if you want to refresh your idea. So Robin, coming back to you, it is kind of a complex topic. So, that's why there is a video that takes an hour that organizes the information better. But if you have a specific question right now you want to ask in real time, I'm happy to review it with you. If something I said was not clear, or if you want to prefer the watching the 1 hour training video, what do you prefer doing? I'm happy to answer. Yeah.
I should watch the video first because I don't even really understand the question. So I'll get back with my team and figure that out. But
perfect.
That was
and
helpful.
I realized also that I was going very quick with my explanations, right? Because I'm making some assumptions that people know about syncing the mailing list and stuff like that. So I realized that it's a very short explanation. It works if you have, advanced knowledge, and then we can engage on a more advanced conversation. But if you have, want to review everything from scratch, it's better to watch the dedicated resource for that. Also, by the way, I didn't do it on purpose. This is a picture from my mom and my daughter. That's nice. It's a little gift, a little present for me. I was totally unexpected and random, but made me happy. Okay, we can move on to the next question, I guess, then. So this is Misula.
Hang on just a second,
yes.
please.
Yes.
I had raised my hand. It was really
related
to this first question. And it's very briefly. So I assume you showed how the connection is between the MailChimp tags. That's great. That was one of my questions.
Yes.
But the other part is the editing. So if we want the advanced editing function of MailChimp, and MailChimp really has got some fairly sophisticated layout capability, then we need to stick with MailChimp for doing our composition.
Yeah, you can do it. Yes, absolutely. You know what? Maybe I can go here. Maybe I can log in and show you. Oof. No, I will not remember I can try my password, but I don't know. I think I don't remember my password, so we cannot do it.
You need a password vault, Manuel.
Yeah, you're right. Yes. Well, the good news is that I have a different secret password that it takes me a minute to recover. But now coming back, yes. So basically what I was going to show is that you can go on MailChimp, log into MailChimp, compose a new message, and use the composer, because as you said, they have, they specialize in designing pretty messages and stuff like that. You can totally use theirs. Now, what is important is that when you log into MailChimp, your mailing lists, your tags and groups will already be there in existence from Helpful Village. So you don't need to create your, recipients list or your tags or your groups, because those are already in there. So basically we recommend only using the message editor in MailChimp, right? If basically the editor in Helpful Village is easier, right? Because you don't need to go to a different platform or anything, right? But you go here and you say new email, and then, well, basically here there is more basic functionality of this editor, right? You go to MailChimp, you have drag and drop editing capabilities for composing the message that can be interesting. But our recommendation clearly is to only use the editor and not manage the tags, the people, the subscribed people, all of that will be in MailChimp, because the information will be already updated in MailChimp from Helpful Village, if that is
okay,
clear.
that is helpful. But the other thing that MailChimp does is keep a very good archive of anything that we sent out. So wouldn't it perhaps be better to put the archive links in?
Yeah, good question, but actually not necessary, because basically what happens is that when you send the message from Helpful Village, right, it will be recorded here in the email messenger, but when the email goes out to a group, it goes out through MailChimp, so it actually creates the message in MailChimp. So the archive will also be in MailChimp automatically. So the archiving capabilities are work the same in both cases, right? Because this is a regular, what it does, Helpful Village, it talks to MailChimp, composes a message, right? It gives it some HTML, some content, and sends the message from MailChimp. So the message will also exist in MailChimp, and you can see the report and the traffic statistics in MailChimp for that message that was composed in Helpful Village. See what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. This is a level of detail probably also that this group doesn't need to. We'll work on that with you at some point later on. Thanks.
Or we can take the question for the next Q&A because I can, I'll be able to log into. It's a lot easier to understand when I can log into MailChimp and then show it to you there. But basically, what I'm saying is that the only reason to send it from MailChimp, I would say, is just the editor. If it's easier for you, if you want to take advantage of the composition and design benefits of MailChimp, then you would send it from MailChimp. For any other reason, I think it's better to have it on Helpful Village because all the records are in Helpful Village and it's easier because it's integrated with the rest of the platform. Cool. Thank you, Eric. And then there is another hand raised from Jim in Cleveland, Ohio. Jim, I don't know. I can ask him to unmute, or maybe he got off the screen.
I have asked him to
I'm
unmute.
unmuted. Now I'm
yes.
Okay, we have you. So you went to the bathroom briefly.
No, I was pushing down the space bar thinking that I was unmuted by that. My first question is back to the newsletters. Is there a maximum file size that you can upload for a newsletter?
A limit in the file size, you say?
Yes.
There is one. Now, it is pretty big, so not really a concern. No, we have never heard back. I don't remember what it is, but it's kind of pretty big. I remember there is one in the code, but we never get any tickets or requests, so we never have. Well, there is one because there needs to be one, but it has never been a problem with any village reporting that their newsletter was too heavy for the platform.
Okay. Well, I don't do the newsletters, but somebody in our village does, and they've run into this problem where they had to downsize the photos and stuff, I guess. So
okay, well then you can let that person know that if it happens again, they can send us a document. We can potentially increase that file. It's like but also, is it a good idea? I don't know. If you ask me, right, it can be something like 50 megs. Now, can you do a PDF that is bigger than 50 megs? Yes. Is it a good idea to have a PDF newsletter that is more than 50 megs? I don't know, maybe not. So, in the end, just let your person know. If there's a good reason for us, if the quality of the image is not good, and then, we can push the size of the file a little bigger, it is possible. But also, it is a good thing to, ask that same person, or is it a good idea to have a, super, if you have a 1 gigabyte PDF newsletter, I wouldn't like it as a member either. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you guys need to be more reasonable with your newsletter. So thank you for the question. Yeah.
So my second question then is follow up on MailChimp. When Helpful Village sends out notifications automatically itself, like, say a driver's license notification to the membership person.
Yeah.
Are those logged in at MailChimp?
Okay, so there is a basic rule. I like the question because it's an important question. And then the basic rule is that the emails that are sent to one individual, right, they are sent from Helpful Village. The emails that go to a group of people, they go through MailChimp. So if you're sending a newsletter message or a group to all your active members through the email newsletter, right, email messenger here, all of this that you can see here, all of these messages to these groups, right, because it's email to a group of people, these are sent to MailChimp. If you're sending an individual email because a person registered for an event or because we are, the other thing you can do, for example, if you search a person, this is me, and then you go here to the activity tab, and in the activity tab, you can send a new email to this person. This is an email that is being sent to one individual. You see that here? And you can use a template here. I can use a template for, I don't know. Requesting donation for background check. Okay, maybe. Then it loads the message here, and then you can send it from here. But you see, this is an even if it goes out through the email messenger, it's only to one person. Then it does not go through MailChimp. So MailChimp is really, initially it was a marketing platform for mass emails that go out. So we use them for for basically mass emails or group emails that go out, and for the individual emails they go through our platform, but no, directly from our platform.
I asked this question because I find it very interesting to see who's opening their emails and who's
Yes.
stuff, you know.
Yes.
And when so say notification goes out to a group of members, their individual emails telling them that, hey, your dues are due. That doesn't show up in.
It doesn't show. Yeah, you're right. Because basically what it does for the renew emails, right, is gonna do the same thing that we have here, but it does it for invitation to renew your membership here. But I know you can, basically, in settings, you can say a 30 days notice for renewal, and it's gonna use an email template special feature where basically the message is different because every member has a different expiration date, renew date, membership type, etc. So we send multiple individual emails at once, right? And for that reason, it goes individually. It doesn't go through MailChimp, and you don't have the stats, because that's the other thing that I'm going a little quickly because Jim knows this. But basically, every message that goes out through MailChimp is recorded in MailChimp, even if you send it from Helpful Village, and you can look at the statistics because it's a marketing tool, right? So you can look at the statistics of how many people opened that message, how many people clicked on that message, etc., and gives you opening rates. So it is great to know, basically members that are most interested or interactive and stuff like that. It is also a little creepy because, you get a lot of information if people are opening their mail or not. But, for the group emails, it makes more sense. For the individual emails, it's a little bit more complicated because it's like, really, it's a privacy thing. If I'm going to renew my membership or not, would I personally want someone to know if I open or didn't open that email? Me personally, I would prefer them not to know. It's like my personal individual email, like, it's like I do whatever, I open or not open it. So it's an interesting question. When I saw that in MailChimp, I thought, wow, it's like, wow, this is interesting. But I thought, wow, this is also a little creepy. But it's good creepy, let's say. If it's for marketing, if it's for promotion in general of a newsletter, I think it's nice. It's fine. If it's for, more personal topic, maybe it can get a little creepy. In my opinion, it's just obviously a matter of opinion. But the statistics of openings is really interesting. Make sense? Oh, Jim went muted. I didn't mute him. So he's free, entitled to his opinion.
I unmuted myself. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't want people think that I unmuted you because we had different opinions.
Again, it is a little creepy, I must admit, but
it is.
It's still educational. I mean, you can see what members are looking at their emails and what members aren't.
Absolutely. No, it's a powerful tool, and it is also interesting if you're promoting, right? Some events and stuff like that, and you see someone is very interested in events, is good, right? And then I guess there are some other cases where it's not, where it could be too creepy, but it's fine. Okay, anyways, we can move on to next question. Thank you, Jim. It was very interesting. Maybe what I'm gonna ask Anastasia, we can make a note. So for next Q&A webinar in June, I'll get my MailChimp account ready and logged in. So because in real time it's hard to retrieve my passwords and stuff. But and then I can show you some of the stats of opening and things like that if you're interested in more MailChimp questions. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on to the next question.
Maybe, hey, Manuel, this may be a related note. I'd be curious to hear how many people do use MailChimp and how many. I don't know if that's statistics available somehow, but
huge. I mean, for our customer base, we strongly recommend it, and most people use it.
Okay. So it's the de facto.
Well, there is two things. First is Helpful Village. I mean, first, similar service exists with other providers, right? There is MailChimp is one. There's another thing that's called Constant Contact, right? And I call them cousins because basically they have similar purposes, etc. But then Helpful Village, we have done a lot of work of integration of MailChimp into Helpful Village. So, you can synchronize this mailing list, you can send the emails in and out, and you can do stats, and you can do things that are already integrated with Helpful Village. So, and there is only one of those platforms integrated with us. So when people want, the question is, do you want to send emails to an audience of, hundreds or thousands of people to promote your village? If the answer is yes, we say, well, it's a lot easier to synchronize your contacts from Helpful Village so that every time you recruit a member, they're automatically added. So therefore, we invite them to do it with MailChimp. So most people do it, and we strongly recommend it. And then some people are like, oh, we absolutely love constant contact. Well, then you can, but then it's a lot more manual process where you need to export your reports of people and then import them every month into constant contact. It's a lot more work and stuff, but so it's not impossible. People are always free to choose, but the easiest way to do it is with this MailChimp account. Also, MailChimp has a free account under a certain level of activity. If you have fewer than X contacts and fewer than X messages per month, it's free. And then the more you use it, well, then you start paying and you pay them. You open the account with them. There's no extra cost with Helpful Village. Also, you don't pay us anything for the MailChimp integration, and you just pay them whatever usage you do.
It's good to know that most of the community does it. Lee's got his hand up. I actually have another comment, but Lee's more polite with his hand, so I'll let him go.
Okay, let's bring Lee in.
Manuel, you showed us how to sync with MailChimp, but I'm just thinking as we're adding people, and is there an automatic job that you run in the background once a week or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, I like that question. Yes. Two things. So basically, you use the platform normally, right? Like you can add a person and you can go, let's add a new person. People management. People management. I can do this. Add new person. And then I'm gonna add here. I'm looking for a name. This is stupid. Actually, what was funny is that I was looking for a name for Wembanyama, but then I realized I don't know how to spell it, so I won't. And yes, I like basketball. And then basically this is helpful. And then basically, I don't remember his name. What is his name? Does anyone have his name?
I don't know how to spell his full name either. The highlight reels are amazing though.
Let's call him John Wembayam, which is probably not the real first name. And then here you choose basically if you wanna, if this person gave you permission to be added to MailChimp or not. And then you check this box, right? And say yes. Cool, perfect. And that creates a regular person here, right? And he's not a member, he's not a volunteer, he's not nothing, etc. But then if you look at the contact information, it's John Wemby. And then you can fill out the form, etc., etc. But then basically one of the things that happened is because he authorized to be synchronized with MailChimp, the MailChimp checkbox is going to be checked in his profile. So that is good. And then the next thing that I can do is that I can do more things. If this person is becoming a volunteer, I can create it as a volunteer, as a member, etc. But then next thing I can do is that I can go to people management groups.
His name is Victor.
Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, you're right.
Wembanyama.
He has a very Russian name, Victor. Okay, sorry. Poor joke. Tag people. Oh yeah, here, MailChimp. Now, because that checkbox is checked, right? So Wemby will be here in this group of people. And then I can come down to the MailChimp group and I can always come in here and synchronize him manually, right? I can synchronize my whole group with MailChimp. And therefore, when we hit on this button, we're gonna get all the people that are not synchronized with MailChimp yet, right? Like Wemby that we just did, and it's gonna be sent to MailChimp at this moment. If you can do this also if you can put Victor in other groups. So for example, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put in group. I can go to tag people of people that are ACE members. And then I can come here, I can add this person to this group. And now we have a group of 3 people, Christina, Manuel, and John Wemby. And then you have the checkbox here and the conditions that means that they have the MailChimp checkbox checked and also a real email. And then I can come down here and I can click on sync with MailChimp. So I can sync. There are different levels of sync. I can, and they all sync the same. So basically, I can, if I do it from here, I'm just syncing this group with MailChimp. So the 3 people here will be fully synchronized with MailChimp. If I synchronize the whole MailChimp list, it's going to synchronize everyone that was not synchronized. So that can potentially hundreds of people, can take a little longer, etc. So if you want to just send a little email to 10 people, it's easier to synchronize from here. If you want to synchronize everybody, you go to MailChimp and you do it. So that you can always synchronize it by hand. If you're sending a message out, right, could be a good idea to, well, before you put everyone in the group, and then you hit sync, and then I go to the email messenger and send the message out. That's what I would do. But then if you don't do it manually and you never hit the sync with MailChimp button, the server wakes up twice a week. I think it's Tuesday and Thursday. And then basically we do the automatic update. So it's just basically, we do just the hitting sync with MailChimp button for you. We do it automatically twice a week. But if you want to send a message right now, you just go manually and just send it.
Okay.
Just
Thank you.
sync it.
That's
Sorry.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
There is another thing that is possible. Is no, but it's okay. I mean, sometimes I don't know. Let's just leave it like that. Because sometimes when I'm sending the email out, I'm also trying a sync. But that one is a little trickier because it's the message is going out. So I'm not sure MailChimp had time to synchronize the whole list, etc. So best practice is if you're gonna send a message out, manually sync it because you have double guarantee. If you never want to sync, okay, well, the server will sync itself twice a week. Cool.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you remove somebody from a group or somebody leaves your organization, does it, when it syncs, does it remove that person's name from MailChimp then?
Yeah, great question. So let's go back. So now we go here, Wemby. Okay. Now this person contacted us. They don't want to be on MailChimp anymore. So what you would do is that you come here and then basically you uncheck the MailChimp checkbox, right? And then look at this. You have MailChimp archive, MailChimp cleaned, MailChimp pending, right? And none of that is checked. I just removed from MailChimp here, right? I removed the MailChimp checkbox. This person called, is like, I don't want to do it anymore. Okay, fine. And then I just save it. The user was updated. And then basically what it does, you see this checkbox here? We're going to make it a little bigger also. It checked the MailChimp archive, which is a different status in MailChimp. So this checkbox here is a read-only. I cannot do and undo, right? And what it is, so it did not delete the person from MailChimp, but it changed its status. So it is in status MailChimp archive. What this status means is that it is in MailChimp. So you have all the historic interactions, you send them previous messages, it's not deleted, but we cannot send more new messages in the future to this person. So basically, usually this person doesn't want to be bothered, right, anymore. It's like, this is annoying, I don't want to receive anymore, remove me. So you just uncheck this box, you save, and this is going to change the status to MailChimp archive. Now, if this person is saying, oh my God, I actually liked my message on Sundays, I miss it, bring me back on again, you can come back in and you can check MailChimp and then save, and he's gonna de-archive it and bring it back, and now he's receiving emails again. Okay, that's one flow. There is other flows, because the other thing that can happen also is that it is MailChimp unsubscribed also. So if the person received the email, MailChimp includes a link that allows them to unsubscribe without asking you, right? It's like, I'm not interested in this content, right? I want to unsubscribe from this list. They can do it themselves. When they do it themselves, it will check this box, MailChimp unsubscribed. And in that case, they don't receive the messages anymore, right? So the difference is MailChimp, check, it means people are receiving. MailChimp archive is that they ask the village not to receive, so we voluntarily archive them, right? But we can bring them back. And the other status is like, well, they did it themselves, they unsubscribed themselves, so themselves, the MailChimp unsubscribed tag. Make sense? And then there is a lot more flows. Someone unsubscribed, but he actually wants to come back. It's a little complex, but it's also very good in the sense that, it's protection for people that don't want to be spammed or receiving unwanted mail. They have the possibility to ask you not to, and also not ask you and just unsubscribe themselves. Okay, makes sense? Any questions about that? Actually, now that I'm thinking, I don't know if I find it here, but we have also a specific training document here. This is another training document that I'm gonna copy to the chat. specifically about MailChimp, because MailChimp is another big topic. Today is the webinar of big topics. Okay, how do I find my chat now? I'm looking for the window. I think I need to stop sharing. And then I'm going to put the MailChimp specific training document in the chat if I find it. Chat. Okay, there it goes. People, you guys are unlucky today. You got homework and you were not expecting it. Just kidding. You can watch it if you want. If you don't want it, you don't have to watch it. Okay, 49. We have more time for one more question, but I need to go there. Okay, let me bring back the webinar, the browser. Okay, next question. I don't think Jeannie is on the call. I know she watches the recording, so I'm going to say hi to her for the recording, and because she has a time conflict. But basically, the question was, and I'm reading it because it can help other people. We get this question pretty often, actually. We can figure out how to put a PDF into the text portion of an event listing, actually in any kind of website we offer. So it can be an event listing, it can be on a website, or it can be on the email messenger. There is no attached PDF document. Actually, it doesn't exist in Helpful Village because it's usually not a good idea. If you go to MailChimp, you cannot add a PDF either. But the right way to do it is mentioned here in the document. So I'm going to briefly go about that. There's two ways to do it. You cannot add a PDF, but you can add an image. So you can take a print screen of your PDF. It's just if it's just a splash image that was a PDF, but it's actually something you want to display on the website. You cannot display a PDF, but you can display an image. So maybe sometimes taking a print screen and uploading that image works for you. But if it's not an image, it's not a brochure or something like that, but rather a big document you want to put in and link, actually, the right thing to do is actually to add the PDF as a clickable link on the message. So basically what you do is you can upload the PDF to the documents library in Helpful Village, and then get the link to that document, and then go to the description of the event or your editable page and add there a link to that page. There is, Anastasia, maybe you can help me with this, but there is a training document about how to add a PDF document. So you can put it in the chat too for people that want to have more details about it. But basically, the right approach is not attaching, but rather linking to a PDF document that you can store in the library. Okay, and with this, we go to North Carolina, and Tony is on the call. So basically, Tony, we have 9 more minutes, and I think it's going to take the rest of the session today because there's no other questions. So Tony, would you feel comfortable just unmuting again and asking the question to the audience, and then anyone can pitch in? It's a more general question.
Sure, thank you. Says we're starting a village in Raleigh, North Carolina, would like some feedback / best practice suggestions from other villages on setting up our volunteer services program. I've spoken with several suburban and rural villages, and I'm hoping to hear from some urban walkable villages as well, something with a little denser population, to see if that, provides a different perspective on things. Areas of particular interest, and then I just list some, but really any feedback is welcome. How you approach your volunteer training, what are the most frequently requested services? I think we got a pretty good handle on that one, actually. Membership levels and access to services. People have different tiered types of memberships that correspond to different access. How requests are processed and tracked. That was one thing that was particularly interesting. A lot of the villages I spoke to, they take information manually over a helpline, and they have volunteers who input it. It was not uncommon, or anyway, to hear that a lot of villages have members that struggle to use the online access to volunteer requests. So they bypass it altogether and put it in for them.
Yeah.
And then any other best practices relating to volunteer services?
Great. Awesome. So, this is a question that is open for, any of the participants in the call also. So if anyone wants to pitch in, they can. I have definitely some suggestions and some ideas, some things to share. But, also, if anyone wants to raise their hand and provide a different perspective, we can definitely do it.
Another thing I would maybe say is that because we're limited on time, and I tend to be a little wordy by nature, questions and whatnot. If anybody wants to just send me an email or something, I'd be happy to set up a one-on-one if anybody has the time to chat directly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome as well.
Yeah, Tony, I don't know how you want to do that, but maybe if you want to, I mean, if you want to drop your email address in the chat, you can do it.
Okay.
If you don't feel comfortable, don't
No,
do it.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so as I said, if anyone wants to raise the electronic hand and provide a perspective, definitely go for it. I don't see any hands, so I'm going to start myself.
Yeah, let me just throw a little bit of clarification because Manuel, Debbie sent an email to you on the 15th.
Yeah, I saw it.
The 18th.
On the 18th, that was directly related to this question because Tony did a fantastic job of talking to a lot of people in various villages. The problem that we're looking for is we're looking for somebody who has, like Tony described, as a walkable village.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I would say definitely each village, as you know, different, and then they will adapt to different things. So again, anyone that wants to come in, they can come in the call and then answer for themselves. The thing that I would say here is my personal opinion on a few things. One is like on the statistics of the most frequent popular services. Well, we know the data and the numbers clearly across the country. The most popular service is transportation. So a lot of people that cannot drive anymore, they need to go places or medical appointments or something like that. Kind of transportation is big in the village movement, that's for sure. Now, transportation and walkable is not, maybe you don't need it. So because if you're walking to places, maybe some people do note taking, tech assistance is something that is popular, but then also friendly visits and things like that. But maybe where I can add more value is on a few things. Sometimes for new villages starting, kind of volunteer services is a big target. It's also a big goal, because it's really great, and I really love it. I think volunteer services is really important at the core of the village movement. My mom needs to go to the doctor. She cannot go alone. If she can go with somebody else, it is better. But I would want to highlight that it's a little hard to get this volunteer, because there is a chicken and egg problem with volunteer services. You need members that dare to ask for help, and then you need to have the volunteers ready to go there and help with something. So some things that I have seen in the past, some people that want to go with a big bang approach to volunteer services, saying, well, okay, on this date, we're going to open it up at once, and then all members can ask, and then we'll have 100 volunteers ready. And usually it's not the best approach. I think that the best approach is usually getting people excited and familiar with the village model. Usually it's easier to start with, for example, events, so that people get to know each other, and it's kind of an icebreaker. Also events, there is not as much as a chicken and egg problem, because you put out the event and then, whoever comes, but the event will take place. And then when people know each other, you can do it. And then sometimes starting with a more small groups volunteer service, you start knowing your people at those events and say, well, this person, you struggle with technology, well, don't worry, I can send you this one person. But it's just a one-off and small, just small scale volunteer services first. And then when people get more used and familiarized with the fact that, you can ask for things and people come and help, etc., and then industrialize it more with the volunteer kind of bigger service. So I would recommend moving away from the big bang approach. And sometimes the big bang approach works, right? If you have created a lot of expectations and a lot of people that need things, a lot of people that are ready to help them, that's possible, but it's also a little bit more stressful and dangerous in a way.
So Tony, the other piece, excuse me, Manuel, the other piece too, and that was in that email too, I've forwarded it to Anastasia. We need some help in setting up dues structure and recommended approaches for that dues structure and membership. You want to say?
No.
Yeah, and membership. So again, offline, but anything you can give us for those connections, it would be really helpful. Thank you. Perfect.
So we have some things we can send you, but we have a few more minutes. I will also share my opinion on a few things. One is the dues will change, compare, depending on the place, the location, the membership, who's going to do it, etc. But I would say some people sometimes are tempted to go with a free membership, which I personally is not my favorite thing, because when, then you have, oh, well, we have 200 free members and none of them asked us for nothing. Well, then is that a real village? I'm not sure. But sometimes what I think also is that if you want to start charging for the real price from day one, it's hard because you don't know. It's like people like, okay, what are you going to offer me? How many volunteer services do you have? How many events are you have? Well, we don't have them yet. But I think in the early days of the village, there's a lot of value in saying, well, this is a inspiring village that is building itself. You can come in as a builder. You can just attend for these events. You don't need to pay from day one. You see what I'm saying? It collect interest, etc. And then we will create membership in this sometime, etc. And then you can become a founder member, etc. You see what I'm saying? There is value. You don't need to have volunteer services set up and some wonderful events to attract people to your organization. I think you should recruit everybody on joining the beauty of the idea, and that maybe is free at the beginning. And then once you have enough momentum, you can say, okay, well, now we want to do more. We want to create membership, and then we're going to be offering this and this more than we have. You see what I'm saying? Just going step by step and not going from, okay, we're going to charge full price from day one, even if we don't have our infrastructure ready yet. I would invite people.
We've actually had some of those events already.
Perfect.
Some of them have been pretty grand.
Yeah. So we've had a few, and actually, two things. One is that our read on transportation is that it's not really transportation; it's accompaniment.
Yeah.
And so that's a piece that we're working on. And then the next piece that we think is probably the most valuable is technology help.
Yes.
And so we've got a listserv going in.
Yes.
We want to really push password hygiene. So we're working on, you heard me talking the other day about password vaults and that sort of thing.
Yes. Absolutely. So tech assistance is frequent because some people struggle with that. And then you have, can have easily a pool of volunteers that are tech savvy and enjoy doing that. So that's definitely great. And then I fully agree with transportation. Sometimes we say transportation for short because taking a person from point A to point B, but I have said this 100 times, if it was just transportation, I don't need a village. I just take a taxi for my mom, right? And the taxi shows up, picks her up, throws her out the door to go to a doctor appointment. And she got from point A to point B. It's absolutely not what she needed, right? It's like, okay, well, you are picked up at your home. You have a friendly volunteer that is saying hi, and then basically it's part of the journey and the activity. And then, and then she cares about the fact that you're going to the doctor. So 100%. Transportation, we say it for short, but the warmth of the accompaniment, like you said, is super important. So I really like it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
And in fact, the next piece of accompaniment, we're planning a training session for those who say they want to do the accompaniment, because one of the biggest requirements for accompaniment, in our opinion, is the ability to take notes.
Yeah, note taking, definitely big. Yes. It is great. I have a big story on notes also. When my mom goes to the doctor, some people have heard this story before. She has high blood pressure. She doesn't like going to the doctor. She's so stressed out. And when she gets out of the doctor's office, she remembers nothing the doctor said. Really nothing. It's just related to the stress level and the anxiety and the blood pressure and something like that. So basically, we don't have anybody going with you that is note-taking and that is more relaxed and then actually can come the next day and just explain it to you, right? The doctor thinks he's a genius because he told you, share his wisdom. Then if the other end doesn't receive any of it, it's just useless. So sometimes a person that comes with you, okay, you go to the doctor, took some notes. We're not even with my mom, I would do this. We're not even gonna talk about this today. We're going home. We're gonna relax. My mom will be exhausted. And then, okay, but we'll talk about this tomorrow because I took some notes, and that has a huge value for sure. 100%.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I don't want to take too much time from people because we are going over the schedule, but I want to make a note, and my note makes me happy is that we did multiple demos on the version 2. 0 bugs reported, which is kind of a performance. The platform is working really well. We are doing more tests. I know a lot of people are expecting this new version. I think the new version don't know what you think, but as we were showing today, I think it's a lot more usable, prettier, and more consistent. And we're really excited for this version 2. The tests are going really well. Now we feel confident to go on a webinar like today and do live demos on whatever comes up on there, and we have no errors, no mistakes. We want to be careful before we put it out to people, because we want to do more tests and things like that. But we are really happy with how this version 2 is going. And I wanted to mention that we asked Murphy if we could use it for our demos today, and Murphy said, "Hey, I'm not showing up today." So you can go. Jim, you have one more comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, last week you were saying the test version would be available for us to use. I haven't gotten a link to that yet.
Yes. So Anastasia she was a little busy with stuff. I mean, not her fault. I was keeping her busy. But basically the new test environment for version 2, we created a separate test environment, right? So that people, before they migrate, they can log in and look at the new version 2 for themselves. So she's putting together some additional information, because we want to make sure people understand that they can log into this test environment, but it's a real deal platform. You see what I'm saying? If you go in and you create an email, you send it to one of your members, well, the member is going to be confused because they're going to receive the email, right? So we're putting, the version is ready technically, we're just putting some guidelines for testing document. And then also you should reach out to her, because basically we're going to open it up, the test environment, to people that effectively requested it. So Jim, so Anastasia, I guess you wrote down Jim's name, and when you can send password instructions, and Jim, you'll be ready to go in today, tomorrow, or something like that. But it's ready. I guess my guess is that we need these guidelines, but the guidelines is kind of a one-pager, right? Saying, guys, be careful, don't use real data. For privacy reason, because we have people from other villages coming in, they should not look what see where your members live, etc. But you should do your test with basically with test data. So we want to put a one-pager, and once we have that pager out, we will send password instructions. Make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
Cool, perfect. Thank you for the question, Jim.
Quick question on that, Anastasia. Do you have you're keeping a list somewhere, right? Of all the people that have asked.
Yes, please just send me an email and request your accesses, and I have the list, and I will send you the password instructions.
Thank you.
Cool. Perfect. Okay, thank you, everybody. So we're going to get to lunch first, and then the guidelines, and then we are opening up the gates for this test environment. So very excited about it. Obviously, let us know if it's a huge transformation. So if you see it come to a screen where you feel there is something that needs to be adjusted or something, obviously, we will be collecting feedback. So that is interesting. So let us know. Okay, thank you, everybody. This was a very fun webinar. Thank you very much, and then talk to you soon.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.